Hello, my name is Anna, and for those of you who have not been here before, I just kind of make videos about whatever I feel led to do. I am a stay-at-home mom of two littles. I would say that I'm like kind of crunchy. I'm a doula, so that's just a little bit of my background, but if you want after this to watch any of my other videos, feel free. I usually don't make content like this, but it's something that I was like, I literally lived almost 10 years of my life in this way, so I might as well just share kind of what I learned through it. So when I was 18, yes, was I 18? Like between the ages of 18, 19, I decided to become vegetarian, and that was like super random. I mean, in 6th grade, my cousin stopped eating pork, and then I was like, I can't eat pork, it's the worst thing ever, because I really looked up to my cousin. But I had never done, I mean, I did like extreme things with my diet. I had an eating disorder in high school, and I will say in 6th grade, I also gave up soda, and like that has stuck with me my entire life. Like Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, like whatever, that type of stuff. Like I just stopped drinking it. And maybe a few times here and there I would drink it at like a party or something like that. But yeah, it just kind of stuck with me at that age. So I say that I've not done extreme things in my diet. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I probably, like I definitely have. This is not like, I'm sure that no one was shocked whenever I was like, I'm gonna be vegetarian. Like, but I will say, like, I did not have a healthy eating habit in my life. Like, healthy eating was not something that I practiced. It wasn't really anything that I knew about. It wasn't anything like in the circle of friends that I was in that we did. But when I was freshman year of college, going into my sophomore year of college, there was a guy at school, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna do the Daniel fast. And I was like, what is the Daniel fast? And it was around Lent. And so he was like, yeah, that's what I'm giving up for Lent. And I was like, what? And his name was Daniel, so I was like, maybe this is something that he's making up. And then I like asked him more questions about it, and I was like, what do you mean? What is this? I've never heard of it. And it comes from the book of Daniel in the Bible, where Daniel goes on like a really strict diet to oppose the king and just kind of show him like, I don't have to eat your food and do your things to be strong, because my God is stronger than any other God, and he can make me strong. So like Daniel in the Bible did this fast, and then he ended up being stronger than like all the men in the kingdom. So anyways, he did this diet, and I was like, oh, I should like try it. So I tried it for a week, and honestly, I have not reviewed what the Daniel diet is, but I'm pretty sure it's like plant-based and no sugar, like pretty, very restrictive, very strict. And at that time too, I was eating in the school cafeteria in college, and we didn't have like restaurants or anything. It was like just buffet style food. And you know, I was like, how am I gonna do this? But we had a really rockin' salad bar. And so I just like ate off of the salad bar, and then after that I was like, this is really cool. So then after my Daniel fast, my brother, because we went to college together, which was so much fun, but he came up to me with this like piece of chicken. And the college that I went to, like we were so small, so tiny, and we didn't have like a huge budget for different things, so like the meat was always usually questionable anyways. And I was like, I can definitely just like give up meat here. And so my brother brought this piece of chicken over, and it still had like one of those arteries in it. And I don't know why this memory sticks out to me so much, but yeah, because that was like almost 15-ish years ago at this point. So my brother brings this piece of chicken over to me, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I need to follow through with what I'm thinking. And so anyways, that began my journey. So rewind to high school. In high school, I went to donate blood, and my iron count was at a 6, I think. And I think, if I'm right, it's supposed to be at like a 12. And yeah, so very anemic, I was eating like ultra processed. Yes, I was eating meat, but it was like not a healthy diet. Like, just because you're eating meat doesn't mean that you're actually getting the nutrients that you need. And at the time, I had no idea. My parents had no idea. Like, we were doing the best that we could. And I say doing the best I could. I knew some of those foods I was not supposed to eat, and I was eating them. But, fast forward to college again, and I become vegetarian. And I remember I went to this missions retreat, and it was like a camp, like metal old military bunk bed style camp. It was like at one of those, and our food every day was like hot dogs and whatever. And I remember the first night I was there, it was like one of the first nights I had decided to be vegetarian, and I ate a hot dog bun and maybe mac and cheese. Maybe they had mac and cheese. I don't even know. I don't think that they even did. I think I ate like a hot dog bun and a bag of chips. And I was just like, oh my word. But I got through that weekend, stuck to what I wanted to stick with, and got back to the college. Again, they had like this amazing salad bar with like chickpeas and legumes and like whatever else. They had like sprouts, like bean sprouts, which is, I'm really surprised by looking back on it. They had beets. So they had a lot of different things, and I was able to make all of these different salads every day. And like, they had peanut butter, they had whatever else. So like, I was eating like that, but I was still eating my Oreos. I was like, Oreos are vegetarian, and Oreos I think are actually vegan, which is even scarier. Like, that is not a praise to Oreos. That means, what are you putting in your Oreos? Which I still love. Like, oh, get me like a stack of 7 Oreos, and I'll like dip it in some milk any day. But anyways, so I was like trying my best, but I still just didn't understand about nutrition, and just my understanding was not there. So we're going to make a really, really long story short. So fast forward, what would it have been? Fast forward 6 years. I felt pretty good. I felt better than I did when I was eating meat. I felt like just a whole lot more athletic. And I think, if I can reflect, the positive things that being vegetarian and vegan did for me, it showed me that I could do hard things, and that I could function with this like alternative lifestyle, separate from my friends, separate from anybody else, and like I could do hard things and like do my own thing and like keep with it and keep at it. So that has like really paid off throughout my life. The second thing that it showed me is just like nutrition, food, things that my body needs, things that my body doesn't need, things that inflame me, things that help with inflammation, things that trigger certain feelings like gastrointestinal, and just whatever else. It has really helped me to just really be in tune with my body, to know what I need. So anyways, I said fast forward that 6 years, and then the last 3 years I was vegan, and that's when I started rock climbing, I started running, I started hiking a whole lot more. I started really paying attention to what I was putting in my body, what I was feeding my body. And during that time, that was like a really just healthy period in my life. I was feeding my mind, my body, and my soul, and all of those things. And another thing that it helped me do, and I forgot to say this, but it really helped me to save money at the grocery store. So you know, I have friends that are like, Anna, do you remember that time you were vegetarian? That's so silly. Like, why did you do that? And like, you know, the carnivore thing or whatever is like so hoopla right now. And I was like, you know what? I like can only tell you based off of my experience that I felt a whole lot healthier in that time. Now, I don't think that this is correlated, but one thing that I do think increased during that time was my anxiety. I'm sure it is correlated somehow, but I didn't really realize it until looking back on it. I think one of the help things that I should have implemented with everything else was deep breathing. And that's something since, now I'm like paying attention to my breath, but that's something since then that I have started to implement. So, yeah, so that's a little bit about my journey. I feel like I should make a part 2 of this because there's like a lot of other things within that. And the next video I want to touch on identity. So yeah, stay tuned. That was flying by the seat of my pants, and I hope that you come back and share with me below. Like if you have ever been vegan, vegetarian, if you still are, if you've been for like your whole life. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments, and I'm sure that there are going to be so many people that are bashing it, but I can only share my experience. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned for part 2.